Hello and welcome back to Master Game Design, Unreal Engine 5, Stylized Environment and Third-Person Blueprint course. In the last lesson we advanced our pickup system, the whole inventory system, and in this one we're gonna continue with picking up the items. But first, we have to fix a logical fallacy that I noticed. I toyed a little bit around with settings. So, what happens is that when we are checking our items, our in-range items array that we're populating through the sphere of the player, around the player, we are checking about the location of the actor. And we are comparing it, we find the distance with our character. Now, the issue that happens is that in our blueprint, I have changed this. This is what we have to change actually. Drag and drop. There is a scene, a default root scene for parent of everything. So what we're gonna need to do is drag the static mesh on the scene and make it root. It will ask you also a question. This scene will not exist in your blueprint. I just added it. So I'm gonna delete this. And we want the static mesh to be the parent. The reason for that is that, let me open a paint. Let's say we have our item here and our widget on top of it. So when this is kicked or something and it's moved to, let's say, over here, so it's no longer here, and the widget finds its location and moves itself here. But what has moved is the static mesh component. Anyway, they say static mesh. So the static mesh component has moved, but the actor itself has stayed here. So by moving the static mesh as the root component, it will move the static mesh, the actor itself when the mesh is moving. Now, the reason this is a problem is when we have two items, for example, that are near each other, and we have, let's say, the red one, this one, has moved here. When you're standing next to them, like let's say that you're the blue line here, even if this item is closer, that has moved through physics, that system will target this one because it's checking for the actor distance. And while the item might appear to be here, the actual actor will be wherever the original place was. So again, just for the sake of information, we are moving the static mesh as a root component. So when the static mesh is moving, it moves the whole actor. So our pickup system works better. Anyway, so let's continue with our pickup system. So we could host this on the player, but we started hosting this on the game mode, GM Harbor that we have. So we have here the inventory item. So we would make two functions in here. One would be pick item, and the other would be drop item. Let's start with pickup item. Now, let's do a branch, connect a branch here. I'm gonna untick the condition and promote it to variable and say as item. This would be the condition of are we picking it or not. So if it's false, we want to set it to true. Again, I alt and dragged it and brought a setter. And if we set this to true, we want also to set the inventory item stats, the structure inventory item that we have here, which is our item stats, to something, to the incoming item. So when this is called, we should pass the stats. So I drag and dropped this on the function, the inputs of the function, and it auto-created an input. Tidy up as we go. To be honest, there's a lot of things that need to be tied up. And besides that, we want to destroy actor. Destroy actor. Yeah, I needed to click. For some reason, my right click is not working. Any of my clicks are not working. There it goes. It's fixed. So I couldn't get destroy actor by itself because it needs an actor reference, and I cannot destroy the game mode. So I needed to unclick context sensitive to find the destroy actor, because it's an actor attribute, let's say. Anyway, and we want to connect this again to the create an input on the function that will destroy the actor that is calling it. So compile and save, and let's go to our pickable item. This could be done in a very different way, but this is the one that I chose right now. Anyway, so in our actor, in our pickup actor, we have the interface calls, and we have that interact action. So on interact action, I double clicked and it created an event. I'm gonna get game mode, and I'm gonna cast to our game mode, GM Harbor, convert it to a pure cast, so it doesn't need an executable. And from here, I'm gonna call the pick up item. And for target, I'm gonna set self. And for inventory stats, I'm gonna set the stats that we have set on the editor. Remember, this is our ST, the structure that we have created for our pickable items that we are setting up. Yeah, I had to restart the engine. This is why it's on the third person template. Gonna save and open our map. So yeah, the item stats that we have set here, our image, our mesh shape, and the item name. So this, when this is called, they're gonna pass on the game mode, they're gonna pass these tests here and set everything. And it's gonna either pick it up, or if it's already holding an item, it's not gonna pick it up. From here, we need to call our widget, our pickup widget. But first, let's create the character's execution on pickup. So we have a target. We have the target on which is the current nearby item that we also seeing the widget on top of the item. Now we need an input. We won't go into much detail about this kind of inputs which have special mode of themselves. We won't go this way. We will just put direct inputs in here. So like we're gonna use the E key. So I'm gonna write E keyboard. So we have kind of static inputs for these actions, because this can be bind to other other keyboard actions that we want. Like let's say I want to change W and S from moving forward and backwards to the arrow keys. This gives this ability. This is more static, but for our purposes, for our demonstration, they're fine. So when pressed E, I want to send to my target interact. action. The blueprint interface, this is one of the good things of the blueprint interface. They will, whichever actor you want, you can send the message, and if it has the interface, it will do something. If it doesn't have the interface, it won't do. Now, there is, of course, always the question, does it implement interface? And you can put it in a branch. Sometimes it's worth using, sometimes it's not, depending on your whole system. But for our purposes, this will do fine. So if we go and play right now and we choose an item, this item should disappear the moment I press E, and this item should not. Right. So now let's wrap these things up for here, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.